I just gave it like.
I think in 100 years he'll be known as a genius, a visionary, a truth teller. Why would a peace protester show up here? Makes no sense.
Anyway, thanks for having me here today, and thanks for having a week devoted to conservative thought at this campus. You know, it's funny, things in American politics ebb and flow and move in patterns that have a lot of similarities. Liberalism rises and conservatism falls. Conservatism rises, liberalism falls. It's the tension between the two that has something to do with the way that America moves. We're not a country that has sort of stuck with one idea and stuck with it for 200 years. I mean, there are enduring constitutional principles. But in our politics, the vigorous debate between parties who represent the right or the left, the center right or the center left, has been good for our country. Played out. We had a candidate who was a relentless centrist. We're not red states and blue states, but we're United States, he said. I'm going to be a fiscal conservative. Quote, I'm going to scrub the budget line by line and end government programs that do not work. He attacked the deficits of the Bush years, which ran 2% of GDP, slightly above the post-World War II average of 1.6%. And he was a guy who promised that something about health care that Americans came to believe. The
U of M college Republicans and Karl Rove requested we turn our cameras off after 10 minutes. I stayed to listen and wondered if any protests would happen.
Who is a terrorist? ROVE is a terrorist! Go home! Yes, ROVE is a terrorist! ROVE is a terrorist! Who is a terrorist? ROVE is a terrorist! Who is the terrorist? ROVE is the terrorist!
Don't put your names on.
Yes, is a terrorist! ROVE is a terrorist! Who is the terrorist? ROVE is the terrorist! Who is the terrorist?
SDS are terrorists.
Who is the terrorist?
SDS are terrorists.
Who is the terrorist?
SDS are terrorists. You can only put one sentence. SDS are terrorists. SDS are terrorists. Go take a shower!
I thought it was sort of catchy. Yeah. Easy to dance to, but the lyrics are sort of weird. Any sense of humor.
John, why are you sending people off to get killed?
Cool head, man. Really cool head.
After the speech, Karl Rove signed dozens of books.
The way he's engineered the two Bush campaigns made him a very influential person on politics in America last decade, in those 8 years. And I think it's interesting his insights on politics, and kind of wanted to come and listen to him.
You spoke pretty clearly today.
Yeah, definitely.
What did you think of the interruptions?
I have no problem with their views, but I wish they would do it in a more appropriate and way. For instance, yesterday we had John Coleman, a guy who spoke against the theory of global warming. There was one.
Did you feel like you were agreeing with her?
I'm kind of skeptical too. He's a skeptic, and there's somebody there who disagreed with him. But what she did is she just sat there, and then when Q&A came, she politely asked her question, and he answered it. It wasn't yelling out in the middle of a sentence. It was waiting for a turn, getting a chance to ask the question. It wasn't. So it's just, I feel that way is more polite and more civilized, which I feel debate should be in our country.
Anything you want to add? Where are you guys from? Are you at the U here?
Yeah, I'm at the U of M. Yeah.
Are you guys studying political science? Or
No, actually I'm not.
No, I'm a biomedical engineering major myself. What gets printed is the more extreme versions, both on the right and left.
I think you're so right on that.
I mean, so you don't hear as much middle.
That extreme is normal.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually the mean. It means like we live in a Jerry spinner world.
Exactly. I mean, you hear right and left. You don't. The middle is like those ones that you find in the small papers that nobody really reads, and because they're not going to get huge readership, so they're not going to necessarily be put in the big papers.
Near the back of the line, I found Colleen Raleigh waiting to have her book signed too.
Have you left anything for him to find and sign?
And I also want to talk to him a little bit because I actually wanted to, I'll show you also, I want to show him, of course, I want to show him a pair of handcuffs. And these are my old handcuffs from the FBI. Ironically, when you join the FBI, they make you buy your own handcuffs. They give you a gun, but they make you buy your own handcuffs. And I just wanted to show him so that he's not surprised one of these days when somebody approaches him in a uniform and actually does put the handcuffs on him. Also, besides all of that, I want to, I don't know if I'm going to have time because this line is long, but I want to challenge him to a debate because, you know, when he has the microphone and he gets to talk and they get to pick the questions, it's very one-sided. And he's a great debate champion, you know, back in the day. And, you know, how can he turn it down if someone actually challenges him to a debate? He's been here 3 times, but all for his own, where he solely controlled the microphone. So
It's interesting. I don't know if you know this, but we actually had to turn off the cameras at the 5-minute mark, and so we actually, I'm not so sure some of those scenes were recorded.
oh, that's too bad.
As Colleen Raleigh nears the stage, almost a dozen University of Minnesota police gather around Karl Rove. There was a designated press area for this event, and I would guess that there was a dozen to 20 press there, but there were nearly that many police at this event also.
Thank you. Nice to see you, buddy.
Hi. Can I get a picture too?
Nope.
No, I can't?
Nope, you can't.
You're kidding. I waited so respectfully. I'm almost last. Well, anyway, sign my book. You're kidding. I can't get a picture.
Well, I wouldn't want to take a picture if you had a shirt that said
I'm
incarcerated.
giving a present, and I actually have a quick request. Here's a T-shirt we made, and then secondly, this is an arrest complaint. Oh. Can we invite you back for a debate? A full debate? Not a microphone?
Thank you.
Where are the young Republicans?
They're all over.
Okay. And you're the person in charge. Sorry. This is the same thing I just gave you. That is you know, I was a lawyer, so I'm just kind of piecing this together. But this is an arrest complaint. To be honest, Karl Rove did commit lots of crimes. There are books written about this, and Vincent Bugliosi wrote a book. I mean, it's the whole book is there's a reasonable cause.
Have you presented this to the United States Attorney's Office?
We have had a vigil for anti-torture vigil at the U.S. Attorney's Office. You know what they say?
But if it's an arrest complaint, you have to file it with the Attorney's Office, either U.S. or county. So
Well,
that's where you have to go.
I think law enforcement can, I'm not saying it's an official one, I'm just saying the facts on there to be cognizant of. And the other thing is, I want to commend you guys for doing a good job today.
thank you. Okay.
And then I got to talk quickly to a young Republican because I want to see if they'll
Play around here.
They're out and out.
Okay.
We're outside.
Okay, all right.
So you can be on your way.
Okay.
Mr. Rove, we follow each other on Twitter.
Do we? There we go, man.
Yes, I do the news.
Thank you very much. It was a very good speech.
My name is Craig, and I have a question for you. The question is, will Obama be reelected?
Way too early to tell.
Well, from today's perspective.
From today, he wouldn't. But when you're running 1 point ahead in the polls with Ron Paul, that's a problem.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.